One evening, Dhalâra came to the garden. My heart skipped, and I froze, every muscle tightening as though I'd been caught doing something I shouldn't. I had no idea why her presence made me feel like that. It didn't make sense. I didn't even like her. She was strange and awkward and far too quiet. So why did my heart suddenly thud harder in my chest? Why did the sight of her make something uncomfortable coil inside me, tight and restless? I saw her before she saw me, moving carefully through the twisted branches of the forsaken garden. She carried a basket draped in a cloth, her footsteps soft on the ash-covered ground. Her blue hair was knotted loosely atop her head, but a few strands had slipped free, curling along her neck. Her face, as always, was painted white, calm, composed, and distant. But something about the way she walked gave her away. There was a hesitation in her steps, a quiet tension, like someone unsure if they were welcome. She lingered at the edge of the clearing, shifting the basket against her hip. From where I stood, hidden among the shadows, I could see the way her hands gripped the handle. Tight. Too tight. As if she were holding onto it like a lifeline. For a moment, I considered staying where I was, letting her stand there. Let her turn around and leave if she didn't have the courage to call for me. I didn't need her. I didn't need anyone. But she looked so lonely. I had never been lonely myself. Not really. I'd grown up surrounded by people. Attendants, family, servants. Always someone nearby to talk to or shout at or ignore. I had never known what it felt like to be alone. Until now. The knot in my chest twisted. I clenched my fists, willing it to go away. But it wouldn't. I hated the way it made me feel, like I could see right through her quietness to the sadness underneath. She looked so small there, alone against the vastness of the garden. And the worst part, when I looked at her, I saw myself in her. I stepped out from the shadows. Her dark eyes snapped to mine, wide and startled. For a moment, she looked like she might bolt, but her lips twitched, almost like she was trying to smile. "I brought you some things," she said, voice soft. I didn't move. "I can leave it here," she added, "if you don't want me to stay." I should have told her to leave. I didn't need her pity. But when I opened my mouth, nothing came out. The memory of our last conversation lingered between us. The way I'd told her to leave. The cold that followed. Dhalâra stood there, her gaze on my cheeks, smaller somehow, less like the painted warrior from the day I first saw her, and more like a lost girl. Her scarred fingers fidgeted with the edge of the linen cloth covering the basket. I glanced at it. It wasn't much, just a loaf of bread, maybe a flask of water. My stomach clenched, but I kept my face blank. "It's not from Azura," she said, as if she'd read my mind. "It's from me."
"Why?"
"I thought you might like it." I stared at her, unsure of what to say. After a moment, I gave a curt nod. She set the basket down. "I'll come back," she said, her eyes flicking to mine for just a second before she turned to leave. Then, without waiting for a response, she stood, brushing dirt from her robes. She hesitated for a moment, as if considering whether to say more. But in the end, she only gave me a small, sad glance and turned away. I watched her leave, her clothes whispering softly against the branches as she slipped through the twisted paths. I told myself to look away, but I couldn't. Not until the shadow swallowed her completely. And when she was gone, the ache spread again, cold and slow, like water finding cracks inside me. But this time, it carried something heavier. It wasn't just the ache of being alone. It was the ache of knowing I didn't have to be. The next day, I found myself glancing toward the edge of the clearing, where Dhalâra had appeared yesterday. I wasn't waiting for her. I wasn't. It was just curiosity. Every time the leaves rustled or a branch creaked in the wind, my heart gave a stupid little jump. I turned towards the noise, half expecting to see her slip through the undergrowth again. But it was never her. The first time, it was just the wind stirring a cluster of dead leaves. The second time, a squirrel bolted across the path, disappearing into the shadows. And the third time, it was that damn owl. It perched on a twisted branch near the brim of the clearing, its inky black feathers ruffled slightly from the breeze. Those eerie white eyes locked onto me, unblinking, as if it had been watching me the whole time. I blinked, startled. The bird hadn't crossed my mind since I saw it that first day, the day I arrived at the Forbidden Temple. And now here it was again, watching me like it had business in this garden. "Where the hell have you been?" I muttered. The owl blinked, slow and deliberate, and tilted its head, as if amused by the question. It let out a low, croaking hoot and shifted its talons on the branch. Damn bird. I looked away, annoyed. Getting my hopes up for nothing. Not hopes, of course, just curiosity. That was all. That night, I dreamt a strange dream. I stood on an endless, wind-swept field of ash, black and cracked beneath my feet. The horizon stretched forever, blurred by a colourless haze that made sky and ground indistinguishable. The wind stirred the dust, dry and sharp, carrying nothing but emptiness. No life, no sound, just silence pressing against me, heavy as stone. And then I heard it. A voice. Emilia. It whispered my name, hoarse and distant, like a thread drifting through the ash. I spun around, heart pounding, but saw nothing. Just the vast wasteland, shifting beneath the wind. Emilia. The voice called again, familiar in a way that tightened my chest. It wasn't angry. It wasn't kind. Just patient. Like it had always known me, waiting for this moment to say my name aloud. Emilia. I opened my mouth to answer, but the silence smothered me. The ash swirled around my feet as the wind stole my voice, leaving me breathless. I tried to move, but my legs were heavy, like the ground was pulling me under. The voice whispered my name one last time, softer now, like a final breath slipping through the air. Then it was gone, unraveling into the wind, and I woke. Dhalâra came back. I heard her before I saw her, Those same soft, deliberate footsteps gliding along the path. My heart skipped before I could stop it, and I clenched my jaw, annoyed at myself. When she stepped into the clearing, she had another basket with her. Her hair was tied loosely, strands falling along her neck, and her painted face was as calm as ever. But I could see the same tension in her posture as before, the way she moved like she wasn't quite sure she belonged here, like she wasn't sure she'd be welcome. "Hey," I said flatly, brushing dirt from my sleeves. I picked up the empty basket she'd left 2 days ago and held it out. "Here." "Thanks." Dhalâra took it from me, her fingers brushing mine for just a second. Her skin was cool. "I brought more food," she said, setting a new basket between us. I gave a shrug, trying to look indifferent. "You don't have to keep doing this, you know." She blinked, her expression unreadable. "What were you eating before? The mushrooms?" That caught me off guard. "What makes you think that?" Her face remained solemn. "I doubt you've been catching squirrels." For some reason, that made me laugh. Not a bitter or sarcastic laugh, a real one. It startled me, bubbling out of my chest before I could stop it. Dhalâra tilted her head, puzzled. "What's funny?" I waved her off, still smiling. "Nothing. You're just... Never mind. You're weird. You know that." She gave a small, thoughtful nod. "I've been told that before."